Hashtag Marc Stuart Medium is hashtag the Scottish Medium. Get yourselves relaxed, close your eyes. Dear Father, Mother, Spirit, thank you very much for bringing us together. Please allow our guides to put a protective spirit around us, shield us, and allow us to now open to the other side and allow loved ones to come forward and give us evidence of continued existence after death. Thank you. Amen. So, take a deep breath. And exhale. Take another deep breath. And this time, as you exhale, just clear everything out of your mind. All today's activities, all the distractions, just get rid of them. And take a third deep breath. And that last irritation, just get rid of it as you exhale. Now, just picture yourself standing at the foot of a lighthouse. You're on an island. Have a quick look round at the stormy seas. Open the door. Walk in. Start going up the stairs. Circular. One step at a time. Finally getting up to the top of the lighthouse. And you notice that the light is off. And it's an old-fashioned lighthouse. So look around for the match or the flint. There's a match. Strike it. Put it into the oil. Light the material, which burns using the oil. And all of a sudden, the mirrors project the light out to see a solid beam of light, and the mechanics of the engineering downstairs start working, and the light is going around and around, and you are now open. When you're ready, open your eyes. Okay. So, make yourselves comfortable. Close your eyes. Now I want you to relax. Get very comfortable. Imagine that you're lying on one of these blown up sofa beds that you take out camping and you take down to the beach, and it's very comfortable. And I want you to open up your imaginary eyes, sit up, bend your knees, stand up, and have a good look around. And then realize with a little bit of shock that you're standing in a big open green area with a car track going around a big circle, with a big steel fence on the other side of the cars, which all looks very nice. But you're in a safari park. And there's all sorts of semi-wild animals walking around this big enclosed area. There's a couple of lions who are now looking at you and smiling. There's a couple of giraffes looking from the other side of the fence in another enclosed area down at you. And then a wee pussycat comes running up to you, and you look down, you're getting ready to pick it up to protect it from the lions, and then you realize it's not a pussycat, it's a lion cub. And mummy's getting very, very, very frisky and coming towards you, slowly at first, and then speeding up. And then you hear a horn hooting behind you, you turn around and look, and there's one of the gatekeepers come in his big Land Rover, waving at you to come quickly over to the car. And he shouts, "Don't run, just gently walk." And you, of course, are panicking and now running. And the lion starts to run and jumps at you and gets you down on the ground. And you're thinking, "Oh no, this is the end of my life." And then it starts licking your face. And you realize that it's actually quite friendly. It is a big oversized pussycat. So you basically pull yourself out, stand up, put your hand out gently, clap it on the head, and then turn around and start walking back to the, let's call him the gatekeeper. And he shouts at you, "I told you not to run. They're oversized pussycats. The minute you do that, they want to play." So he opens the door to the Jeep and you jump in, and he drives you around and drives you out the gate, and they close the gate behind them. And he starts lecturing you that you shouldn't have got out of your car, and what were you doing sitting there on that blown up and sofa thing in the middle? Do you not realise where you are? And you say, "No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm confused. I don't know how I got here." Don't tell him how you got there. And he takes you to the office, big sort of hut. Out you get, and the medical, they quickly have a look over you, make sure that you're not scratched, give you a couple of tetanus jabs just in case. And then he says, "Go find your car." So you walk out over to the car park where there's your car sitting waiting. Walk over to it, open the door, get in. And you know how you normally go to your safe room? Well, tonight we're going to do it a little bit differently, because your loved one has come to see you in the safari park, and they're sitting in the driver's seat of the car. So I'm afraid Dee Dee's inspired us tonight. This is where you're going to meet your loved one. So I'm going to pull back and leave the two of you together. Go for a drive somewhere together, or just sit and talk. It's entirely up to the two of you. And I'll come back in my usual 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, so listen to my voice. It's time to leave your loved one in the car. They smile at you, say goodbye, open the door, step out, close the door, walk away from the car, don't look back, because the car's not there anymore. Your loved one is driven away. So go back to the ranger and ask him to give you a drive back into the safari park area. And this time he takes you into a different section. This is the one with the giraffes. And one of the giraffes walks up to you. You get out of the Jeep, walk up to the giraffe, put your hand out, clap him on the side, and ask him politely if he'll give you a ride home. And he says, "Of course I will." And he bends down so that you can clamber up, put your hands around his neck and hold on for dear life. Now, have you ever seen a giraffe with wings before? Because all of a sudden, 2 wings come out at the side. Have you ever seen a giraffe flying before? Well, cling on because you're about to experience it. Starts to run, flaps his 2 huge wings, and they're huge. They're in proportion to the size of the giraffe. And you find yourself taking off. I look down at the safari park. All the animals are looking up, all waving with their hands and paws goodbye. And just keep heading up the way into the sky, through the clouds. And then finally the giraffe says, "Here we go, we're getting back home." And he moves down through the air and lands in your street or the road outside of your home. Gallops for a little bit, comes to a stop, kneels down again, lets you clamber off. Reach out, clap him on the side, say thank you. He says, "No problem. Nice to get out of the safari park for a few hours." And then he runs off, flaps his wings, and look at that strange creature in your street running and taking off. And then all the neighbours are looking at you with goggled eyes. How on earth? Where on earth? Where have you been? Just smile. Walk up to your front door. Open the door. Walk in. Find your way through your home. Find your empty chair. Sit down. Make yourself comfortable. When you're ready, open up your eyes. Okay, so close your eyes. Picture yourself at the top of the lighthouse. Put your hand out and just close the wick, the burning flame of the candle, and the light goes out. And just walk down the stairs, circular, round and round as you go lower and lower down to the ground level. Say goodnight to the lighthouse keeper as he waves you as you go out the door, and as you go out onto the island, turn round and firmly close the door. And as you close the door, you've now closed yourself to the spiritual realm. Now, join me for a prayer. Dear Father, Mother, Spirit, thank you very much for all the wonderful messages we got tonight. Please take the energy that we have generated. Please send it to a few people. Anybody that knows anyone that needs healing, say the name out now or say the name in your head. And please take the energy that's left over, put it into a nice round circular blue ball, and direct it to someone, just one person, somewhere in the world that needs help, whether healing, synchronicity, or a kick up the rear end as appropriate. But please make sure they get the help that they need with that energy. Thank you. Amen. And now some information about circles. So I'm just going to run very quickly and give you a very quick and brief description about the circle programs that we offer. There are actually 2 different circle programs that we run. The first one is just straightforward circle membership, and that costs $50 a month. The second one is a training program, which is pretty intense. Various prices on that depending on what level of training you want. So, circle membership. That gets you into one circle every week, one a week, so 4 or 5 a month, depending on the month. You get membership of a private Facebook group. You get to develop slowly at your own pace, basically over the long term, and you get access to videos of the circles that you attend. Cost $50 a month. Comes at 3 different levels, 1, 2, and 3 circles a week. Basically, that corresponds to how quickly you want to proceed. At 3 circles a week, you're doing it in 6 months. At 2 circles a week, you're doing it over 9 months. At 1 circle a week, you're doing it over a year. You also get access to monthly lectures and a very big video library. Your membership of the private Facebook group, it's very different. This is very hard work. It's geared to make you a working and professional medium. Now, the circles themselves that you get access to are very different. The circles with the membership are only at the weekend, and that's basically where people are coming in and developing at their own pace. I'm not saying that we don't push people, but you don't get pushed at the same level that you would in the circles during the week. It's the difference between going for a casual walk along the beach and training to be an Olympic runner in terms of the actual circles that you go to. When you're at the end of the program, however, you then get access to a business program once you're certified. Now, that's really the major incentive for joining the accelerated training program. And the costs start at $99 a month, depending on the level that you want to proceed at.
I would just like to finish up by inviting you to come along and meet us. I say us because we're actually a small but growing community, 1,600 people in one Facebook group called Spiritual Mediumship, which is all about the way that we do spiritualism and mediumship in Scotland, and a smaller group of people that sit in the 4 circles that I and we run a week. Come along and meet us, experience what a circle actually is. You never know, you might make a friend, you might enjoy yourself, you might even join a circle. Even you might just join one of the groups.